Uncharted 4 is the latest installment of the Uncharted series that follows Nathan Drake and his adventures to find the biggest and best treasures he can. And today I'll be showing you how I platinumed Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. On PSN profiles, Uncharted 4 has 4 out of 10 difficulty, requiring 2 playthroughs and should take about 30 hours to complete. The trophy list has a few chapter-specific trophies that can be missed, but chapter selects makes them easy to go back to and get. A few noteworthy trophies like Charted Crushing, Swordmaster, Charted Speedrun, and the only gold trophy for defeating 1,000 enemies. The game starts us off with a few different flashbacks and flash forwards of the game and the storyline. Beginning with Nathan and his brother Sam, who we get introduced to for the first time on a boat on their way to an island to pursue their latest adventure to find Avery's treasure. The next flashback shows us when we were a little bit younger, and our brother helps us escape from an orphanage that we've been living in for the last few years, and tells us that he's found our mother's old stuff that our father sold off.
Hell yeah.
The next important flashback takes us to Panama jail, where we're actually chasing a clue to Avery's treasure that we've been searching for with our brother Sam and this man Rafe, who's actually a very important part to our story, and you'll see him a lot throughout the gameplay. We end up climbing up a bit of the old busted section of the prison to find one of Avery's crosses that will hopefully give us a clue and lead us to the treasure. After that, we end up in the warden's office where Rafe decides he's going to stab and kill him. We then go through a little bit of a chase scene and try and escape the prison. When we were doing this, we jump across a ledge and our brother Sam gets shot and falls about 30 meters, which makes us believe that he's dead, but we all know that he's not. The start of the next chapter, A Normal Life, we end up in our home and find a toy gun in the attic where we get a quick trophy for shooting all these targets called Still Got It. We then make our way downstairs and find out that we've actually married Elena Fisher from the original 3 games. The next sequence then shows us that our brother Sam isn't actually dead and he survived getting shot and falling. Turns out that he actually gets into a prison cell with a notorious drug lord, Alcazar, who basically helps him get out of jail under the condition that he finds Avery's treasure and gives him half of it. The first clue that we get in our adventure is that one of Avery's crosses is actually going up for auction at a black market in a place called the Rossi Estate. When we get there, we get a little help from our good old friend Sullivan to break in. Here we get introduced to Nadine, one of the bad guys, and she aligns herself with our old friend Rafe. Nate then flicks the lights off while Sam and Sally steal the cross, and then we have to escape the mansion. Now this is where we get our first real taste of the crushing difficulty. We do die a few times, but it is absolutely nothing compared to some of the encounters we have later in the game. Eventually we get through the encounter and escape with Sullivan driving the limo. We get ourselves back to the hotel where Sam breaks open the cross, and what's inside actually reveals where we need to go on the next steps in our quest to find Avery's treasure. We make our way to Scotland, where we're thrown into a few different encounters which aren't too bad. We get a little bit of help from some dynamite, our sharp shooting skills, and our assassin-like stealth. A little bit more dynamite. A little bit more dynamite. And a Spartan kick off a cliff. We make our way to what we believe to be Avery's gravesite and tomb.
What is that?
After a quick little puzzle, it's revealed to us that we need to head across the cliff to a cave. Once we get there, we're faced with another puzzle, which we actually get a trophy here for completing in under 10 moves called Trials and Tribulations. Now you'll notice here that's actually the first trophy that we pop in this playthrough. The reason for that is I've already played this game when it first came out and have already got 17 trophies on the board. Now moving on, the boys come across another map that actually reveals that we are off to Madagascar, in particular King's Bay.
It's Madagascar.
Once in Madagascar, one of the coolest chapters I think, we get to drive around in a four-wheel drive, and you'll notice at the very start here, I knock over these little sort of tower of rocks in the middle of the road. There's actually a chapter-specific trophy linked to them, and you'll see what that is in a little bit later on.
Everything's good. Here we go.
The car is actually equipped with a winch, which Sully very reluctantly didn't want to get, but it does help us quite a bit throughout the playthrough. Now this section really grinded my gears. I died over and over for probably about an hour or so. And it wasn't that there was many enemies, it was just once you finished the first section, there was another wave of enemies that came, and I did die on my own accord a few times from fall damage, but we won't talk about that, as if I told you every single time I died from fall damage, we'd be here for like a 5-hour video. Eventually we did get through it, and we move on to where we got our trophy for knocking over all 16 of the rock piles in the area. Moving on, we hitch ourselves up a cliff when a rock basically throws us over the edge and we almost fall to our death. Somehow we survive and we carry on.
Oh, that was fun, right?
We make our way up to a little underground chamber area where we learn that there was actually 12 pirates, and each one of them had their own treasure. Now the best part of this whole chapter is actually where we get to pat and feed a lemur, and because of this we get a trophy called Don't Feed the Animals. Nate and Sully make it to one of the big clock towers in the city, where we climbed up and rang a few bells that basically just unlocked a secret area at the bottom of the clock tower. Before moving on, we climbed to the top of the tower and got a trophy, I Can See My House. Finally, ringing the bell at the very top of the tower basically brings the whole building down, and we almost fall to our death again. Turns out the 12 pirates that we discovered earlier were actually the founders to the secret lost city of Libertalia, the pirate city. We take a quick snapshot of Sully and get a trophy glamour shot, and then we complete probably one of the worst puzzles in the game. It was an absolute pain. We did it properly and didn't look up a guide for this one, stupidly. It just took us a very, very long time.
Damn, did you get the photos?
Turns out the whole time we were doing that puzzle and sending photos to Sam, Rafe had actually hacked our phones and now has all the information that we have.
Sully.
After we exit the clock tower, we look across the yard and see the tower that Sam is at is getting attacked and blown up. Before moving on, we get a little trophy. It's a little bit of a throwback to when the game was given a stage demo at E3. The game basically froze in this section, and PlayStation thought it would be a great idea to throw a cheeky little trophy in there to remember it by. We shortly get another combat trophy for using a pistol, a machine gun, and then a kill with a grenade in 15 seconds. Moving on to one of probably the best sequences in the whole game, where Sam is getting chased by Rafe's men. Nate and Sully drive through the town, chasing them down, and we hook ourselves onto the back of a crane on a truck. get dragged in the water, dragged across some dirt, and while this is happening, we actually get another trophy for shooting and destroying 10 vehicles while being dragged by the rope called Hang Tough. Eventually catching up to Sam and yelling at each other to get on each other's vehicles. Nate gets T-boned by a truck and flipped over. Eventually we crawl out the passenger door and Sam swoops in to save us from the truck, who then starts chasing us. Eventually we shoot it until it smashes into something and blows up, and we barely escape.
Good as ours.
The boys make it back to the hotel where they're met with a not very happy Elena, who's waiting for us because Nate actually lied to her about where we were going and what we were doing.
Seems like you're a hair off course. I got a plane to catch.
After she storms off, Sam and Nate make their way to the next stop on their adventure, where we pick up a few trophies here. One for playing Marco Polo next to a sunken ship, which is a little bit of an Easter egg and a throwback to all the other games. And one for driving around in the ocean long enough for 3 dolphins to follow the boat and get a trophy.
There we go. What is that?
We then make our way through the chapter where we come across this puzzle where each stage of the puzzle that we complete reveals one of each of the 12 pirates except for one.
Got it. Here we go again. We got, let's see, Joseph Farrell, William Mays, Tariq bin Malik, and Christopher Condon. 8 out of 12. And the last of our crew. Richard Want, Edward England, and Thomas Taylor. Oh, wait a minute. That's only 11 pirates. There's your missing Avery statue. You know,
We do then find Avery's statue, which, looking through his spyglass he's holding, points us in the direction of our next location.
what are we looking at?
A small dark island very far off in the distance. Now you'll notice here that the game basically throws us back to the beginning of the game where Nate and Sam were in the boat trying to escape from the people chasing them. We then see that Nathan gets washed up ashore and we start chapter 13. Now this chapter and chapter 14 were one of the more annoying chapters to complete. Not because the chapter was difficult by any means, more just so because there's only one specific trophy for both chapters that you have to collect together. Now this trophy is basically you have to go through both chapters 13 and 14 without killing a single person. Now looking back on it, I probably should have done this on the easiest difficulty on my speedrun, but me being me, I did it on the crushing difficulty and it was an absolute pain in the butt. Overall, I think these 2 chapters actually took me about 3.5 hours to get through, just purely because as soon as someone sees you, you're dead. That's it. There's no if, buts, maybes about it. You get seen, you're dead. Once we do get through, we get our trophy, Peaceful Resolution, and we basically learn that the reason the pirates had all of the treasure that they did was they stole it from the colonists.
Because these guys had already taken it for themselves. Pirates will be pirates, right?
I know where they moved it.
We then work out where they actually took the treasure after that. On the other side of the island in a place called New Devon.
It's a map.
Yeah, right there. That's our treasury.
It's a map of Libertalia.
Right, so follow it to the other side of the island. Now look, right there.
New Devon.
On our way there, we actually get intercepted by Nadine and Rafe. And this section of the game, if you don't want any spoilers, gives off one of the biggest plot twists that I completely forgot about from the first time I played this game.
Well, this is interesting. Nate? Samuel?
Run down. I warned you.
Do it! Start! Hold your fire! Don't shoot!
Just enough to get him his freedom, okay?
His freedom.
Nathan. Yeah. He did hard time. Our time. And the guy who broke him out, Hector Alcazar, he owes him a lot of money.
Whoa, what the hell are you talking about, Nate? Hector Alcazar died in a shootout in Argentina like 6 months ago. I'm the one that got Samuel out. Oh. Wow. What did he tell you? Sam, what kind of story did you cook up? Alcazar? Really? You lied? You lied to your baby brother?
We're wasting time.
Just a second. Thing is, Nate, I never stopped looking for Avery's treasure. I just kept running into these dead ends. And then I hear that our dear old Samuel Drake, an authority on Avery, is alive and somewhat well. There was no breakout.
Turns out our big brother lied to us, and Rafe was actually the one who helped him get out of prison by bribing the warden.
You know what? He did it all with me.
Oh,
Oh, yeah?
no, that's bullshit.
Oh. Sam, care to refute?
You missed one clue, and you can kiss that treasure goodbye. You said it yourself. Keep running into dead ends. Why don't you face it, Rafe? You need us.
You're half right. I just need Sam.
Wait, now you're making a mistake.
Don't listen!
After Rafe tries to shoot us, Sam jumps in the way and we fall off a cliff. We are actually then found by Elena, and the game takes us on a little bit of a flashback to when the boys were a little bit younger, not long after the earlier flashback at the start of the game. Now, the reason they are here is to find the house that has all of their mother's old stuff in it. Their mother was actually a historian who was obsessed by Sir Francis Drake and also who was studying Avery's treasure.
Whoa. Henry Avery. Gunsway heist.
While going through their mum's old stuff, the cops showed up and they have a little bit of a getaway sequence. Once we escape, Sam then decides that he wants to restart our lives in a way that he seems fit by changing our last names to Drake, basically to honour their mother and everything that she worked for.
Everything changed after that. You know, we became explorers, adventurers, mostly thieves. Ow.
Okay, just hold still.
While making our way through the jungle with Elena, we actually get a trophy here for completing this little section without killing any of the enemies and escaping without dying, obviously, called Just Floor It.
Hi there.
Hi.
This next encounter in the game was one of the more frustrating ones, as most of the time you're hanging off this lift with the car in it, and it's very hard to take cover, and we do die quite a few times. I think this encounter took me about half an hour to do so. It wasn't that it was difficult, it was just that it was so annoying that you couldn't take cover, and it was just overly frustrating. Eventually we did get to the end and killed all of them, and Lena decided to run two of them over with their car.
Shit!
Are you okay, Nate?
After a bit of driving around, we make our way to New
Welcome to
Devon,
Avery's neighborhood.
where we actually learn that Sam is still alive and Rafe is basically holding him as his prisoner.
Front door.
Sam.
He's still alive.
Making our way through some of the old buildings, we come across this massive dining table with a heap of dead dudes in it, who we've established that actually are all of the pirates that we've been chasing around this whole time.
Elena, these are the pirate captains that founded Libertalia. What the hell happened here?
Well, I'm no forensics expert, but I would say bad drinks.
Avery makes a grand toast. For God and liberty! Arg, ahoy, mateys, all that. And they all take a swig.
What we gather here is that Avery and Thomas too poisoned all of the other pirates so that they could keep all of the treasure for themselves.
All the treasure of Libertalia becomes the sole possession of two men.
Now, this next encounter actually took me about an hour or so to complete. It was more so because I died more times in this section than I think I did in any other section of the game, even the final chapter. I don't know why, I just couldn't get through it, and I died over and over and over again, just so quickly, mainly because of the guy on the screen right now, the heavy guy. It was just a pain in the ass. At one point, I actually got a trophy for blind firing and killing 50 enemies because I was here for so long. But eventually, we did get through it, surprisingly.
Jesus. You alright?
Yeah. They were just waiting to ambush us.
Not before coming across this section of the game where we're in a big death trap tunnel where the whole cave is lined with mummies with explosives stuffed in them, and as soon as you walk near them, multiple of them explode and they have a massive blast radius.
Jesus. What did I just say? For Christ's sake.
There was even a gunfight encounter, and for some reason this wasn't the hardest part of the whole section. I even got a trophy here for killing 1,000 enemies. That's how long I've been playing this game and how many times I've died and reset from checkpoints. Now, even in this next section, the mummies were so close together and exploded one after the other. It was literally not even a foot of distance between living and dying from these things. Once we have finally escaped, we then get on to chapter 20. Now, this section is basically what's considered the really difficult gunfight, the ship graveyard.
He's surrounded.
Now, I didn't actually die as many times as I thought I did when I counted and went back through the footage. Purely because a lot of the times I was getting up to the second stage of the fight, which took about 5-ish so minutes to get to that point. But then when you do get to that point, you're encountered with these stupid enemies that sprint at you, tackle you, and put you in a headlock, where when they've got you in a headlock, the other enemies can shoot you, and the only way out is to have enough health to break free, or if Elena happens to come across and punch him in the back of the head. Even if you do that, you still die most of the time. We also got a quick trophy here for making 10 enemies drop their grenades. And eventually we got to the point where we just had enough and we closed the game and played something else. The next day we came back and tried our luck again with a few different strategies where we'd stay behind cover a little bit more and throw grenades a little bit more if we could, to try and take out bigger groups of enemies instead of trying to use our guns. Now when we actually got a little bit of breathing space to kill the big guys, we stole one of their guns, which made the rest of this a hell of a lot easier, because boy, I tell ya, the better accuracy and the time to kill was about 10 times as fast as any other gun in the game, apart from the one-shot pistol, of course. And we also have 200 bullets in the 2 guns that they give you. After about 60 attempts of trying to get through this, we finally meet back up with Sam and we get thrown into another fight scene, where this one's obviously not as hard, but the guys on the other ship, the whole time you're there, basically just shoot RPGs at you until you get to the end of the ship and you get your own and you can fire back at them.
We could do that. Or we
eventually meet back up with Sully, not before Sam decides that he's going to go after the treasure by himself. Now, there was a section where we all jump over a gap, and he decides that he's not going to do that, and he's going to turn around and go the other way to try and find the treasure.
All of you. Hey, all that doesn't matter anymore, okay? Just jump.
I gotta see this thing through, Nathan.
Sam.
Nate decides he's going to follow him and try and find him, where we find Avery's ship, basically where the treasure has been hidden this whole time. Once we make our way through the cave and down to the bottom where the ship is, we encounter Nadine and Rafe again, and we follow them onto the ship.
Is literally in sight.
We're then confronted by Rafe and find out that Sam is pretty incapacitated by a bit of the ship that's broken and fallen on top of him. Rafe then boasts about how him and Nadine are partners and that they don't screw each other over, but turns out she turns on him pretty quick and takes his gun and leaves all 3 of us on the ship that's on fire to die.
Whether you die or not, I don't really care.
The next section of the game is the boss fight of the game, and it is insane. It is so much fun, but it is also very, very difficult on crushing difficulty. You basically die with 1 hit, which makes one of the trophies that you have to go for pretty difficult, where you have to beat the boss fight without taking a single hit of damage, which, trust me on crushing, is extremely annoying to do, but it's definitely possible if you take your time and learn his move patterns and the way he attacks you.
I have sacrificed everything to find Avery, and I'm not gonna let a couple of two-bit thieves, a senile con man, and a washed-up journalist take that away from me! You care about that parade of losers so much. I'm going to make sure they join you.
On guard, dickhead.
Hold still. This might hurt a little. Get off! Come on, legend. Come on, Nate. Come on! Now that's the Nathan Drake I hear so much about. All right.
We're done here. I'm taking my brother and we're leaving. You want to stay and burn with the ship, you be my guest.
You got me.
You know what, Nate? Underneath all the bravado, you're just a sad little boy with delusions of grandeur. Who, by the way, can't fence for shit. So long, Nathan Drake.
Nathan!
I don't know when to give up. That's good. Don't hand it to me. I've had everything handed to me on a goddamn silver platter. I earned this. All of it.
You want the treasure, Rafe? It's all yours.
The fight then ends with us cutting a rope and crushing Rafe with all the gold and treasure that he's been searching for this whole time.
Get your head down.
Nate then blows a massive hole in the side of the ship that basically floods the inside, that allows us to lift the plank that's stuck under Sam and save our brother.
You were one crazy son of a bitch. I just want to know. Come on.
Now, because I'm a bit of a psychopath, I did actually get the Swordmaster trophy, which is not to take any damage while in the final boss fight. On crushing difficulty, it was absolutely brutal to do. After we escape, Sully and Elena come back and pick us up in the plane, and we learn that Elena has actually bought the company that Sam works for with a little bit of treasure that Sam smuggled off the ship and pushed in her pocket when they were saying goodbye.
Holy crap. Where did you get this?
It was in my jacket pocket. Along with a bunch more.
A bunch? Sam.
He's a sneaky one.
Yeah.
We then move on to the epilogue of the game, where we get a quick trophy here for beating the high score on Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation 1 as a little bit of an Easter egg. The camera then pans around to Nate and Elena's daughter, Cassie, and their dog, Vicky, who's clearly named after Sullivan. Cassie comes across a cabinet with all of the treasures and trinkets Nate and Elena have collected over the years, including Nate's mother's diary, where she finds a photo of the three OG from their first adventure together.
What the hell? Wait, what?
When Nate finds his daughter Cassie going through his stuff, he starts telling his daughter all the stories, which sort of makes you think that maybe they'll do a game in the future where his daughter follows on in his footsteps and goes on her own little adventures to find treasures. After the credits roll, we get our trophy for completing the game on the crushing difficulty, and we quickly move on to the sharpshooter and the speedrun, which is basically just to finish the whole game in 6 hours and to complete it with a 75% accuracy playthrough. We then move on to our miscellaneous and combat related trophies, where we get a few here, and then we move on to the collectible trophies. Now, there's 4 different types of collectibles. There are the journal entries, the journal notes, the optional conversations, and of course, all 109 treasures, where here we pop our trophy for collecting 50 treasures. We get the trophy here for getting all journal entries. We collect our final note for the trophy to collect all of those. We then get a trophy for collecting both strange relics, as there are 2 in this game. We collect our final 109th treasure,
No.
and I thought I'd leave this one to last because I thought it was the coolest. Cassie has a bit of a conversation with our puppy dog, Vicky, and we get the final trophy of the playthrough, Gift of the Gab,
Okay, girl. Where's mom and dad?
which gives us the platinum trophy. And that's it for Uncharted 4. Thanks for watching. If you did watch to the end, I really enjoyed playing this game. It is definitely one of the best Uncharted games. Number 2 comes close, but this is definitely the best one. I will be doing another video shortly. I'm going to play through the Lost Legacy. I actually haven't played that before, so we'll get all the trophy pops. But if you like the video, give us a like, comment what your favorite part of the game is or which game is your favorite, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks guys, cheers, bye.